First and foremost, the English rendition of the praise poem written by my father, my mentor, my axis, my Piro Murshid, my spiritual guide, my beloved, my Baba Jan, Sayyidi Sheikh Muhammad Mohsin Yusufi, in honor and in dedication to Hazur Sayyidina Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Let us then recite the Root Sharif once more. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulallah wa ala wa sahabika ya Sayyidi ya Habiballah. He is my beloved Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. He is my beloved Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, illuminated from the light of Muhammad, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. In the race of falcons, who can compete with your speed? Indeed, you are the eagle that defies boundaries. O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, Jilani, the beloved of Allah, the luminous lamp. His title is Qutb Rabbani. O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, those supported by you are the falcons of sainthood, be it Lahore or Baghdad. There is no match of yours, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, be it your fellow saints, saints who came before you or the ones who came after you. Your foot serves as the divine stamp of sainthood, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. May my tongue keep chanting your praises, be it any state, travel or stay. Would that my life be spent under your feet, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Your light is the divine light. Your honor is the divine honor. Difficult it is to praise your sweet voice, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. You need not worry when I am there for you. The gist of my story in your words, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Those who would call you Ghaus became Ghaus themselves, O Mohsin. Those who would call you Ghaus became Ghaus themselves, O Mohsin. You are the matchless benefactor of benefactors, O Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. He is my beloved Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, illuminated from the light of Muhammad, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Sayyidi ya Habiballah. Once again, we have been blessed to participate and attend this dignified, sanctified and sacred gathering of Gyarwhwen Sharif. The blessed verse of the Holy Quran, which I just recited a while ago, that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, Ala inna awliya Allahi la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. Behold, verily, there is no fear nor any grief upon the friends of Allah. So now in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala encourages man to contemplate on the friends of Allah. So who are these friends of Allah? They are the ones who are the beloveds of Allah. They are the ones who are the saints of Allah. They are the ones who are the awliya Allah. So Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, behold, verily there is no doubt, there is no fear, nor any grief upon the friends of Allah. So such are the friends of Allah, that they do not fear, nor do they grieve. And in this blessed gathering, we do not sit in a gathering of an ordinary saint, but we celebrate the name of an extraordinary saint. He is the man of unfathomable and ineffable grandeur and majesty. He is the leader of saints, the sovereign of saints, the master of saints, the leader of saints, the gnostic of Allah, the mystic of Allah, the saint of Allah, the beloved of Allah, the highest saint in the hierarchical structure of saints of Allah, the axis, the great falcon that defies all boundaries. He is the helper of helpers. He is the benefactor of benefactors. He is the most distinguished, the unprecedented, the unrivaled and the unparalleled. He is the unfathomable. He is the great falcon. He is the great Ghaus al-Azam. He is Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So we sit in the gathering of Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, whose unreserved devotion to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala was unparalleled in nature. His sermons and his discourses, they were illuminating and they were awe-inspiring. And Hazur Ghaus Azam, he relates and he recounts and he states about the beginning of his preaching and how he started sermonizing the public in sacred Baghdad Sharif. And he says, Hazur Ghaus Azam, Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala, he is reported to have stated that he was once blessed with a vision of the honorable messenger, the noble messenger, the beloved messenger, the beloved of my beloved, the beloved of all, the seal of prophethood, the seal of apostleship, the noble messenger, the leader of prophets, the warmer of hearts, the coolness to eyes, the holy prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Hazur Ghaus Azam states that I was once blessed with a vision of the noble messenger, peace be upon him, and Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem. And therein, while in that vision, the holy prophet, peace be upon him, inquired from me, O Abdul Qadir, why is it that you do not preach? Why is it that you do not preach? Hazur Ghaus Azam thereupon replied, O Prophet of Allah, O beloved, I am but a Persian. I am but a Persian. How can I speak and utter the eloquent language of Arabic? How can I speak the beautiful Arabic language of Baghdad Sharif? Thereupon the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stated, O Abdul Qadir, open your mouth at once. O Abdul Qadir, open your mouth at once. Hazur Ghaus Azam states that when the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, asked me and directed me to open my mouth, I at once opened my mouth, and thereupon the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, spat 7 times into my mouth. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, spat 7 times into my mouth. Then Hazur Ghaus Azam states that he saw Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem, who would approach him, who would come near him, and he would again ask him and instruct him to open his mouth. And when Hazur Ghaus Azam would open his mouth, Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem would spat, and he would spit 6 times in the mouth of Hazur Ghaus Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And thereupon Hazur Ghaus Azam, when Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem placed his saliva 6 times in the mouth of Hazur Ghaus Azam, Hazur Ghaus Azam humbly inquired from Hazrat Ali, O Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, came a while ago and he spat 7 times. However, you spat 6 times. So why is that the case? Why is it that you did not spat 7 times into my mouth, and instead you did 6 times? To that, Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajil Kareem replied, the pertinent matter to at this stage is that it is because of my utter respect and adoration that I hold for my beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, that I did not spit and I did not place my saliva in your mouth 7 times, but I in actual did 6 times. Anyhow, the context of this discussion now that follows is that Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu states that it was precisely on account of this miraculous event, and it was precisely on account of the miraculous effect of the saliva of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and of Hazrat Ali Karamullah Wajhul Kareem, that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala opened up to me an unfathomable ocean of divine wisdom. So that is Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Oceans of divine wisdom, oceans of divine knowledge, oceans of divine knowledge that defies all boundaries. And it is in this context that Hazur Ghaus-e Azam stated, Darastul ilma hatta sirtu qutban waniltu sada min mawla al-mawali. I acquired knowledge till I became the Qutb, and I attained this good luck through the great Lord. Thus, seeking knowledge is very important for a man. For a person, seeking knowledge is very important. And it is a treasure of whose significance very few can realize. We do recall and we do place great emphasis on the wealth that we gain in terms of jewelry or monetary benefits and all that. However, what of the wealth that is of knowledge? Hazur Ghaus-e Azam was one of those saints, and he was the saint who recognized and laid great emphasis and significance on knowledge. So knowledge is an unparalleled wealth. Imam Ghazali, one of the revivers of Islam, when Imam Ghazali of his time, when he had concluded his studies spanning 5 to 7 years, and he was returning back, on the way when he was with a caravan, on the way back he came across bandits, thieves perhaps. He came across bandits, and those bandits, they took hold of the wealth of Imam Ghazali along with the members of the caravan. Imam Ghazali was obviously very disturbed, and seeing that all of his wealth had gone and all of his clothes were gone, and in those belongings of his, there was a collection of notes which he had made over the course of 5 to 7 years of his studies. So the studies that he commenced over a period of 5 to 7 years, he made notes of those studies, and he compiled them at a certain place. So he had all of those notes with him while he was returning back after concluding his studies. Now, what transpired was that the bandits took hold of his wealth, of his clothes, and along with that, of his notes which he had collected over the course of his studies. Now Imam Ghazali started running towards the bandits when they were going. He stopped the bandits. He met the leader of those bandits, and then he stated and articulated, and he requested the leader of those bandits to return his notes to him. And he said, "O leader of bandits, I do not wish to gain back the wealth that I have that you took away from me unlawfully, nor do I wish my clothes to be returned back. However, there is only one thing that I wish to be returned back to me, and that is only and precisely the collection of my notes that I gathered and made over the span of 5 to 7 years." The bandit was astonished. He was amazed. He was amazed that what kind of a person is this? He does not request me to return back his wealth or his money or his clothes or whatever the other monetary valued amounts or items were, but what he requested was to return his notes. So he was amazed. He was astonished. So Imam Ghazali states that what that bandit then said to me changed my entire life, and I thus became Imam Ghazali. And the bandit said, "O Imam Ghazali, if these notes were of such value to you, why did you collect them on pieces of paper? Why did you not learn them by heart?" So such is the significance of knowledge. That bandit said, "O Imam Ghazali, if these notes were of such value to you, why did you end up recording them on pieces of paper? Why did you not learn them by heart?" And Imam Ghazali says that this is the moment that my life was turned. I realized the importance of knowledge. I realized that the value that one can associate to knowledge cannot be enumerated. And thus, Imam Ghazali says that when the leader of the bandit, he returned back my notes, I learned all of those notes spanning 5 to 7 years in a few days. And thus, the famed Imam Ghazali came into limelight and came into existence. So such is the importance of knowledge that one should lay emphasis on. And that is what Hazur Ghaus Azam, the leader of saints, stated. Darastul ilma hatta sirtu qutban wa niltu saada min mawla al-mawali. I acquired knowledge till I became the Qutb, and I attained the good luck through the great Lord. So that account of bandit, Imam Ghazali says, that changed my life forever, and I became Imam Ghazali. And then Hazur Ghaus Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. The knowledge that Hazur Ghaus Azam possessed was unrivaled in nature. It cannot be enumerated. And thus, one day there came a time when he was at the pulpit of sacred Baghdad, and he was commanded and directed to state the famed statement in the form of Qadam hazihi ala rakabatin kulli waliyullah, that my foot is on the neck of all awliya. So his lectures, his sermons, when he would sermonize the public, they were full of wisdom, of divine wisdom and divine knowledge. People would flock, 70,000 in numbers perhaps, to attend his lectures. And such was the miraculous effect of his lectures that the person sitting the closest to him in proximity would listen to him exactly the same as the last person in the 70,000 people would listen to him. That is, so his sermons were an embodiment of love. His sermons were an embodiment of love. One following day, Hazur Ghaus Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani stated, during his sermon, he said, "My sermon is for the hidden men in whose hearts the fire of love is raging." And when he said this, his son named Abdul Razak, who was sitting near to him, near his pulpit, he swooned and his turban caught fire. Hazur Ghaus Azam came down from the pulpit, and while putting out the fire, Hazur Ghaus Azam stated, "O Abdul Razak, you are indeed one of them. You are indeed one of them. My sermon is for the hidden men in whose hearts the fire of love is raging." So the sermons of these awliya Allah, the sermons of these saints of Allah, these sermons are an embodiment of love. They are an omen of peace and harmony. Why? Because they narrate the accounts of the paragon of virtue and happiness, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. My beloved father, my axis, he often states, strange are the accounts of lovers. And it was the precise knowledge of Hazur Ghaus Azam that one following day, Hazur Ghaus Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he came across a man who was lean and who was sick. And the man requested Hazur Ghaus Azam to get near him, to approach him and help him sit up. So when Hazur Ghaus Azam helped that man sit up, all of a sudden, miraculously, that person, he became healthy. And then he said, "Oh Abdul Qadir, I am the religion of your grandfather. I am the religion of your grandfather, and it is on your account that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has given new life to me. The religion of Islam has gained its revival." And thus, Hazur Ghaus Azam Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came to be known as Muhayyuddin, the reviver of the religion. The reviver of the religion, and his sainthood, his station of sainthood. One cannot evaluate that station. He stated, Hazur Ghaus Azam, that at the day of judgment, I will be standing at the door of Jannah, and I will not enter paradise until and unless each one of my disciples and murids do not enter paradise. So that, in a nutshell, is the great saint of the 11th century, the great Ghaus al-Azam, Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala.